As a new executive director or interim director, you have a lot to do and a lot of expectations at the beginning of your position. I'm going to share 4 areas that you need to focus on in your first month, based on my experience as an executive director. It all comes down to listening and getting to know all the people involved in the organization. This is going to make a real difference in your future success. The first area to focus on is your staff. Spend time with them right away, even though you have a million other things to do. Establish a good relationship with them up front. They're all anxious about who this new leader is and whether it's going to work out. As quickly as you can, gain their trust, and the easiest way to do this is by listening and asking them for help. Ask them what's going well and what challenges they see with the organization. Don't make any promises at this point, but take good notes so you know what to keep an eye out for. If staff members took on extra tasks during the transition, see if they can continue doing those tasks. This will keep your to-do list more manageable and let you focus on leading the organization. Finally, spend real time visiting all your programs and watching your staff in action. Everyone appreciates it when you take an interest in their work. The second group to get to know is your board. In your first week, you'll want to sit down with your board chair and meet with them. Find out what their priorities are for the organization. And this may not be your initial priorities, but it lets you know what you need to learn more about. It can be interesting. I did this recently in an interim job, and it was quickly clear that the board had a high-level picture of the organization, but they didn't understand the day-to-day challenges that the staff were facing. So I helped them understand those better so that we could all work together. After you've met with the board chair, start meeting with the other board members to develop a strong relationship with everyone on the board. They'll also have some really good perspectives to share with you. This may not happen in your first month, but make sure you prioritize it over the first few months. The third group to introduce yourself to is the major funders for your organization. This could be local foundations, federal agencies, United Way, or your large donors. Just like your staff and board, the funders are wondering about this new executive director. You want to reassure them that you are familiar with the basics of their funding and that you'll be carrying out the grant in the way it was intended. When I started an executive director position, the local funder wouldn't release the funds until I came in and met with them. Once I talked to them, they had no concerns about the future of the organization, but they were doing their due diligence. Even if you can only make a quick phone call to introduce yourself, that will go a long way towards establishing a relationship. Then you can sit down for an in-person meeting later on. The fourth area to focus on is your financials. You need to learn about your largest sources of income and expenses, as well as the cash flow situation as quickly as possible. Ask lots of questions of anyone who can help you, as financials are the key to success of your organization. It will take time to really understand how the money flows, but it can be incredibly important. At my last interim job, I just kept asking questions until I understood every line on our bank statement. And this let me find some services that we were still paying for and no longer using, that I was able to then cancel. Finally, you're going to be gathering a lot of information for the first month, but you're not going to want to make any major changes. Sometimes there are glaringly obvious problems that have to be dealt with, but it's best if you can let things ride for a while so you can understand how everything functions before you make a change. So those are the 4 areas to focus on in your first month as executive director. If you're feeling overwhelmed, just reach out to me at ingridkirst.com. I enjoy coaching executive directors and helping them be successful.